It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this very special, invigorating, robust lifestyle show. First of all, I want to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each one of you. And I am just so excited today to have with me my returning diva, Deb Matlock. And it is going to be a very special interview today because she is one of the authors in Animal Prints on My Soul, a diva's book that is very soon to be released. So, and we are going to talk about her story in the book, and I am just so thrilled to have her share with you. So, Deb, could you please introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself today?
Absolutely. Yeah, hello, everybody. My name is Deb Matlock, and I live in Colorado, and I run a small business called Wild Rhythms, where I focus on the deep and sacred connection between people, place, and the world of spirit. And I run workshops and individual coaching programs, and one of my biggest passions is the connection between humans and the other animals we share this world with. So I'm just honored to be part of this book and really excited to talk about it today.
Oh, wow. That is just beautiful. I love everything you're doing with nature and animals. And just bringing it all in a deep and sacred connection. That is what is so beautiful. Well, tell your listeners just a little bit to intrigue them about your story in Animal Prints on My Soul book.
The story that I wrote was about a dog that I grew up with. Her name is Jenny. And we basically grew up together. You know, she was young when I was young, and I lived in a place where there weren't any human friends. And it ended up she was my best friend from the time I was crawling around until I was about 12, I think is when she passed away. And we just did everything together, and, it was just our lives were intertwined completely all the time. We slept together, if I was outside, she was outside watching me and making sure I was behaving. And, she was a herd dog, so she knew her responsibility was to make sure that I wasn't running out into the street and all those things. And, the story that I wrote in the book was about sharing a little bit about that, but then about kind of reconnecting with her, spiritually speaking, when I was in college. And it was just out of the blue, and it just shook me to my core and really was a moment when I desperately needed her support, and it was just that same familiar feeling that I had grown up with, and it gave me the courage in that moment that I needed, and just knowing that our relationship continued even though it was in a different way.
Oh, Deb, that is just beautiful. When you said that about how you reconnected with her spiritually, it just sent chills through me because I could feel it in your voice on how much you two had reconnected in the spiritual world with her being passed and not in the physical world like you had her growing up. And there she was in the spiritual world to help you just like she did before. Oh, my goodness, that is just beautiful. I'm so excited, and I know our listeners will be to read that story on how you two reconnected like that. Oh, that is beautiful. Well, how do you feel sharing this story? What has been such a huge impact in your life by sharing this story about your best friend, like your dog?
There's a couple of them. So, one of them was, I think about her, of course. She's in family pictures all over my parents' house. She was such a part of everything. But I hadn't thought about this specific situation in, goodness grief, maybe 15, 20 years until you all reached out. And then when you said, do you have a story, it was the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, oh, this is the story. This is it, because it's to me, it embodies not only the magic and the beauty and the mystery of our connections with our animal companions, but it also speaks to just how much is going on out there that if we just let ourselves be open to it, and even just curious about it, what all is happening. And the I was going through a really rough time when she showed up again in college. I was really struggling. I had a lot of things going on, and I needed that support, and I wasn't getting it any other place, and somehow her spirit just knew that.
Oh, yes, her spirit totally knew that. And I'm thinking, too, when you said, when we reached out to you, Divas, to asking if you would like to submit a story, I feel it was her spirit that came to you and immediately said, let's share our story in this book. Do you feel that way?
Oh, I absolutely, because I have to say, I mean, my life, I'm very blessed with so many fabulous animal companions and deep relationships, and it's so important to me. And for her to just jump right into my mind like that, and it was like, this is the story that has to be told. This is the story that maybe can go out and inspire others and, open up the possibilities out there, and she's such a wise soul, and she was always. I mean, she kept me from all kinds of things, but her wisdom is just so, there's no way that I would be able to make a better choice than she would.
Oh, that is just beautiful. And I love how you said her wisdom, she sounds like she was a wise old soul, even as a young dog taking care of you. Her soul and her wisdom was like a wise old soul, is how it sounds, is what you're saying about this beautiful dog that was in your family. She was your family.
Well, exactly. And at the time, my parents weren't looking to get a dog. They were offered her from a colleague of my dad's who was breeding, and she was the runt of the litter. And back in the early 70s, that wasn't a good place to be. And so my dad basically said, "Oh no, we'll take her," And so it was just interesting too how we kind of all got brought together. It wasn't like they were even saying, "Let's go get a dog." It was just like the circumstances, the mystery of it all just said, here we are, here's the dog, here's the family, let's do it,
Yes. And you were all in the right place at the right time for her to choose you as a family and you to choose her to be in your family, is what the picture is coming to me. And that is so beautiful. And her being the runt of the litter, it reminds me so much of my little red heeler, because he was the little runt in the litter too. And they are, I'm not saying all of them are, but you have experienced one like that in your life, and I have too. And oh my goodness, they touch your hearts, and they live in there for a lifetime and beyond. They are there forever.
Oh, forever. And I have to say everything I am as a person personally, and even what I do professionally, she was a huge influence in all of that. There's no way I can deny it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is just beautiful. That touched my heart, as how she made such an impact on your life, even in your career, in everything you're doing. She's right there beside you. Her little paw is right there in your hand all the time.
Yeah, and making sure I don't go too far off in one direction or another. And, she's very level-headed compared to me, so...
Oh, that is just absolutely incredible. That is just a beautiful, beautiful story. Our listeners will be so excited to read about that one. Wow. Well, do you have animals still? I assume you still have animals in your life. What, are you still around dogs a lot? Are the dogs in your life today?
Absolutely, yeah. I've actually got 3 dogs right now, and I do a lot of volunteer work for dog rescue, and oftentimes end up with the ones that you have some behavioral or something that makes it difficult for them to find a home. But, they're just such sweet souls, and they just need a place to land in the world, And so, yes, I think I have to say, not that we can ever really know our future, but I can't imagine my life without dogs and without cats. And I don't even know what I would do with myself.
I hear you 100%. I don't either because, yes, I'm just like you. I mean, they are such a part of my life, and they are my life. I mean, they're what make me keep going, and they're always there for you. Their unconditional love is just incredible.
And I like what you said about they are your life. I feel the same way. I mean, there have been times over the years where I've canceled important things because I needed to go to the vet with one of my dogs, and it was like, well, I'm doing this. This is what, this is my first priority here, and I'll have to reschedule that other thing, whatever that was, because I know where I need to be.
Yeah. Yes, I hear you. They are our family. They are sweet living souls. And they give you so much, just like how they have impacted your life, and to this day you still have them right there beside you. And that is just incredible, Deb, on how she made such a difference in your life, and how as of today the dogs are they're your family. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's all I put all that at her feet, because she's the one who she just formed me. She was my first teacher.
Oh, that is awesome. She taught you before you even knew that she was teaching you. She was teaching you. She was right. Forming you.
That's right.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Well, Deb, how can our listeners connect with you or contact you from listening to you and they're going, okay, I heard at the beginning she's a coach. I would like to learn more from her and be in contact with her. How can our listeners reach out to you?
Absolutely. The easiest way would be to visit my website, and from there people can sign up for the newsletter or jump onto the social media platforms that they're interested in. And it's wild-rhythms.com. So there's a little dash in the middle, but wild-rhythms.com. And I also welcome emails. There's a contact form there. I love hearing people's stories about their own experiences. It's always fun to connect with people who have in their hearts a passion for the deep connections that we can all have with our animal companions.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that is a great way for them just to go to your website, and we will post that here with this interview, so the listeners can reach out to you and connect and go further from there. Oh, Deb, this has just been an incredible interview. I loved it. I love the connections that you have and the deep and sacredness of it all, because it is just beautiful with these animals. I want to thank you so much, Deb, for being my guest and sharing a little bit about your story in Animal Prints on My Soul.
Oh, and thank you also for the opportunity to share that story. It's an honor, and it's deeply meaningful to me, so thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome, Deb. Divas That Care is so excited to have you be a part of it. So thank you so much. Have wonderful holidays, and have a magical rest of your day.
You too.
Oh, thank you so much. And I want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this absolutely amazing interview with an incredible diva, Deb Matlock, who is an author in Animal Prints on My Soul, which will be released very, very soon. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have yourself a magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals that have that sweet soul and give you unconditional love all the time a great big hug, and share all of your love with them. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.